you're feeling really overwhelmed, even if you think, it might be good to do journaling, it might be good to do meditation, it might be good. It's like, take a breath. All this video is talking you through a few of my cartoons so that you can relax. I found that when I was really overwhelmed, I was open to learning a little bit in a soothing way, in a that she's just talking about herself. She's not making me do anything. I don't have to perform or do anything. I'm getting to know her. I'm thinking particularly of people like the Minimal Mom. I've been following people doing minimalism stuff, and I am learning, but I'm also just relaxing with a friend. And I hope she knows that's how I felt. And that's kind of helping you just feel like you're relaxing with a friend. I don't have her experience and skills on the camera, so you'll have to give me, I don't know, a little bit of understanding. The cartoons. I never did art, so this isn't about doing art. This is about stick people. So I'm going to show you the cartoon. Sometimes there's words, and sometimes it's just a stick person in a particular environment. And these were not my first cartoons. I've been doing this 4 or 5 years. So I'm going to show you. I had this idea of doing like two different worlds. And the idea of doing like the whole globe, I just thought, I can't remember where all the countries are. You may see me resting my head quite a few times on the microphone. I couldn't remember where all the countries were, and I did not want to think that hard. I just wanted to represent globe. So that's why I did them like that. And I wanted to do my little person flying between the two. And there's quite a few of these. So there's all different series where she's kind of flying. But I show you again. This one there's no words. Sometimes I'm inspired by a quote or something or some words that I've heard somebody say, and it tends to be that I write those words down first and then I do the picture. But this one, the idea was being between two worlds, and it was just how simple can I make it? Okay. But if you are interested in doing this, I've done 3 videos. There is the book, of course, if you want to do that route. But I've got 3 other videos already just on the drawing side of things about you do a circle. This is how you can do the eyes, or you can make it more expressive by doing the eyes bigger. So those videos exist. But for now, I just thought, oh, let me show you these. I just thought, let me just chat you through them so you can say, is this something that might soothe me? Oh, I forgot to say it. I started this kind of because I was struggling to find the words about my own inner compass, North Star, goal, vision. I didn't have the words for that, but I knew that when I heard other people expressing things like quotes and songs and even just simple everyday language, sometimes I'd resonate with those words so much that it was almost like I'd I would cry or I'd feel emotional, and so I wanted to capture those words, and and with the cartoon I started with just writing the words, but it became a to-do list. It became, oh, I want to remember these words. These words are important. I'll just write them out. Where the cartoons was a little bit more chilled. I'll write the words and I'll play a little. That's kind of what I was thinking. So let me show you this next one. How I feel right now. And then I don't know whether you can tell, my person is walking as if she's come from that way, but the sign's saying, this is the way. And she's saying, really? Really? Like I'd just been that way. That was how I felt. You may hear me laughing a few times. The reason I keep going with the cartoons is that they tickle me. It's my own sense of humour. You may not find it funny. And I like that I kind of found my sense of humour again. So So that was how I feel right now. I'd heard somebody say, look at things, look at things a different way. That's what they were saying. So I did a cartoon about how I felt at that moment. And I will talk in the other videos about the drawing, I'll talk about it, but I kind of just wanted to chat through it. Is that I wanted her to be falling. And then when I was drawing her, I noticed that I wanted to draw the ground like imminent, kind of like she's going to hit the ground. And that's how I was falling. I'd booked a makeover and I was feeling a lot of pressure to make the most of that money that I'd invested in the makeover, and 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 it to be some sort of big turning point moment, not just eventually progressing, but ta-da, that day. And I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. So, as I say, the words that I'd heard were about looking at it the wrong way. And I thought, I'm going to play with my cartoons. This is how I feel. And then, you see, she's falling to the ground. She's falling to the ground. And then all I did was turn it up the other way. And And I don't know whether you get this because you don't know me, and I don't know whether you know my situation. I was feeling like that. Somebody said on YouTube, "Look at it the other way." I didn't redraw it. I just turned it upside down. You can see because my name's still at what was the top, and now she's flying up, and there is a line there, but I'm getting loud and excited. There is a line there, but I don't see it as I'm going to smash through anything, like a ceiling or something, or get hurt. What I felt from drawing this and just turning it upside down was I'm going to zoom past that. And yeah, pretty scary, but not imminent death. I mean, this is imminent death. Oh, one of the things I wanted to say about the cartoons. You know these kind of lines here? That was by accident. I was drawing once and then my pen accidentally sort of did a line. And I thought, ooh, that looks like movement. That's how little I know about drawing. If you know about art stuff and you go, oh, that's obvious. I'm sorry, I really didn't know. It was an accident. And you're going to hear me talk about, what was his name? Bob Ross, the artist that did all the PBS documentaries. He talked about happy accidents. I talk about happy accidents and using improvisation and kind of making it up as you go along. Okay. So I'm just going to, I don't think I've shared this one publicly. What am I not seeing clearly? And now my character is looking forward. I hope you can see this is a stick person. This is not super duper cartoons. And one of the things I wanted to point out is I tend to do a squiggle for the hair, but it might look different each time. I'm just doing it fast. What am I not seeing clearly? And I just thought, I was thinking at the time about friends, and I'd made a video saying I didn't feel like I had the friends to talk to and not to talk about work things. And I, and then a friend of mine reached out to me and said, you can talk to me anytime after she saw the video. And I thought, okay, that's really weird because when I made the video, I didn't feel like there were people. I knew about this friend, but I still felt like there was nobody who was really interested in what I was doing. And so I was asking myself, what am I not seeing clearly? And there's all these people, and I might not know the details of them. I think I didn't colour them in because I was just being lazy. But in fact, it's kind of another one of those happy accidents, isn't it? It's like I don't know who they are, but they're all there and they're kind of behind me. There you go. Fierce. Sometimes. Is that what it says? Yeah, really tiny writing. fierce sometimes with my lion's mane, and I kind of gave myself a little bit of a nose, like you see on a cat or something with some whiskers, and I didn't feel like this is me being bad at drawings again. I didn't feel like it was clear enough that I was trying to be a lion or look like a lion. So, as a last minute thing, I put these like claw hand things on. And again, as I'm doing this, if I'm laughing, that's what I want for you. That's what I want for not for you to laugh. Well, not don't laugh at me, or don't laugh at my cartoons. But when you make them yourself, something is going to tickle you, and you'll just think, "Oh, that's funny. That's just funny." And it doesn't have to be a big, raucous laugh. But if you've been feeling overwhelmed, wow, just to feel that something's a little bit funny and to see a little glimpse of something that's you. That's what I want for you. This one, can you see? This one, I was experimenting. I wanted her to be kicking, like kicking it, but I didn't know what she was going to say. I'm still figuring out actions and bodies. You can tell. I normally do a triangle for a dress, and I'm trying to make the dress look scrunched up. Can you tell? And I'm doing my little lines, my little lines for movement. I'm still, you see, you can tell that it's super new. It's a new skill, so I'm doing it in a lot of the cartoons. And she's saying no. And sometimes when I draw my faces, I don't know how expressive they're going to be. Oops. So when I did her face, and I did that, I didn't know what she was going to say, but I just felt like she wanted to say no and sort of kick out, and it kind of looks like she's kicking at the frame and at like the box, and I'm not sure what else there is from that. It's not like a funny one or anything like that, but I just thought, oh, there's something fighting back there. So I'm like, no, no, um, and that was interesting too. Ah, this is me playing with my lines for speed and trying to figure out my legs. How can I make them look bent? How can I do this? Oh, this one I haven't shared either because I wasn't sure. I heard somebody say the phrase beginning to open up. And I thought, is that me? Am I beginning to open up? And so I did this one. She's opening her mouth. I I don't know. I suppose I feel like I was trying too hard to be funny and quirky, and it wasn't as natural as some of the others. So I didn't really share that one. Shared it with you now. This one, more action lines as if she's moving. Yeah. You'll see I don't always do grand lines, like where this line here, but I wanted to show that she was up in the air, and I kind of wanted her to be reaching towards something, but when I drew it, I wasn't sure what she was reaching for. And then later I did the sun. But really, I did the sun to show that she was up in the sky. And then I managed to change the pen a bit as if something was keeping hold of a leg. But again, I didn't do any words for that. So I'm experimenting. This one, next phase, attempting to evolve for you. You can see there's a lot of things changing in my world at the moment. So these are the phrases that are coming to mind. This is an absolutely definite one that I slipped with a pen. I slipped with a pen. I'm not. And things are being thrown at her, and I actually turned it into a tomato being thrown at her. So I'm not sure. You know, new things coming for me. I'm not sure I want to be singing because she's kind of singing. That's what I do that with musical notes just to try and make it look like she's singing, and having tomatoes thrown at her. It's obviously I got a lot of worries about showing up and being seen, and that popped out. Ooh, this one, another happy accident. Let me show you this one. This one, first of all, first thing you can see is the colour. What happened was I use an app called Procreate, and I forgot to turn the colour back to black after I coloured something in on another cartoon. So I started this cartoon by doing the frame like I normally do. Again, there's videos to watch. I'll talk you through it. You don't have to worry about how to do it. I started it by colouring it in. And what I could have done, colouring the frame, and what I could have done was just stop then and said, ugh, wrong, that was wrong, delete, go back. But with the improvisation rules of yes and, okay, the picture is going to be purple frame. Right, okay, this is kind of that improvisation rules or happy accents. It says, it don't take much to give bad thoughts wings. Now, I don't know whether you can tell. I don't know whether you can tell. It don't take much to give bad thoughts wings. That had been written before. It was written in black. It was written in a smaller. Can you tell the thickness of the line is smaller? So I'd written that before, and then I thought I'm going to draw a picture to it. This is how it works for me: is that I'm. It don't take much to give bad thoughts wings. So I really didn't think too much about it. I just thought I'm going to draw something, and what I'll do is I'll do the frame first because that buys me a little bit of time to just calm myself down, do the frame. And that's what I did. And then I did it wrong. And so what I did was me in the colour, pointing, looking quite grumpy and saying wrong because that was what was in my head. And I thought, oh, that's quite good. And again, that kind of tickles me that the phrase was, it doesn't take much to give bad thoughts wings. And then it's like, I'm shouting at myself for drawing a cartoon in purple instead of black. Going wrong. So I thought that was kind of funny. You'll see that a lot of the time, what I'm doing with the reason I call it like journaling with cartoons, for years I said I was just doing cartoons. Only later did I realise that I had put so much of myself on the page. Anyway, this one. I'm showing you this one because I remember drawing this one, and this is her. So anyway, she's very small in the corner, and she's looking up at the future, and the future is bright, or the future is golden. I didn't have the word. In fact, I didn't have much when I did the frame. So I do the squarey thing, and I try and do it a bit wonky. Well, I'm not trying to do it wonky. I'm just trying to go like quick, get a bit of energy. And then what happened next was I thought to myself, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to draw. So I realised what I could do is a small circle for the head down there and do the hair. And I did like a little body where normally I would do it bigger and here and stuff. It's like, no, I'll do that. And then I thought, oh, she could be looking up. And I remembered to put the dots that side so that she was looking up. And then it was, what's she looking at? And as I say, when you look at the cartoons, you may think, Joanne had an idea and she just drew it. Joanne did not have an idea and just drew it. Joanne did a frame and then did a little circle and then did a triangle and did not know what was coming next. That is exactly the process. And that's what I'm talking about. This one, I kind of knew. I had some ideas, but I added some things to later. This one says, I want to look a little bit dangerous. Do you remember me saying I had a makeover? I want to look a little bit dangerous. So I did this originally where she had the horns and the black dress. I want to look a little bit dangerous. And I even shared it with the lady who was doing my photos because she was asking me lots of questions about what do you want from the photo session and the makeover and everything. And I said, ooh, what comes to mind is I'd like to look a little bit dangerous. I don't know why. I wanted to look a little bit dangerous. I sent her the image. And then afterwards, I thought, I had the idea of doing that mask thing over the eyes. And so I got it back and I said to her, I said, oh no, don't share that picture because we were doing a bit of a collab where she would share my cartoons and we'd go through the journey of the makeover and share it as content and stuff. I said, don't share that. I'm going to put like this mask on her. That's better. So it is sometimes that it is a bit more thought out that the cartoons happen, but the goal is it is that expressing yourself. I don't know. I want you to feel it. I want. No, it's okay if it's all too overwhelming. It's okay to watch this. But what I'm really hoping, of course, is that you think that could be good. That could be good. And if she talks me through it, that could be good. But if you're not feeling like you want to reach out and do that, there are other videos of me just talking through drawing. You'll see them like with showing the iPad and stuff. And I also did the felt tip drawings for years before I did anything else. And if not, there's Instagram, which is linked to on YouTube. And you don't have to watch the videos or anything. It's just see picture, see picture, see picture, and just she's feeling similar things. And I suspect you'll find that you'll recognize books that I'm reading and other stuff that we've got in common. Anyway, this one's a bit more wordy. I was trying to make her look like she was clapping. You can see I'm doing these little lines. She's watching something. She's saying, ooh, ooh, he said that so well. Because, and he's saying, like, why are you clapping? I'm not very good at drawing boys. You'll see that I put them in little blue triangles and just do the hairstyle. Maybe one day I'll figure out trousers and everything else, but at the moment, that's not important. So, yeah, so sometimes when I'm listening to something, particularly on YouTube, it particularly happens when I'm watching a video and I'm engaged in it. I get a feeling, some words are said, and as I say, it's like it resonates with me, and I get a feeling through my body, and I have been known to break out to a round of applause, which is quite sad. It says a lot about me. This one, I was trying to figure out how to make a dance, and the words that I was trying to use was "I'm a work in progress." And it's funny because I feel like I didn't succeed in making her look like she was dancing, but it's kind of appropriate that the words were "I'm a work in progress." It's like she did look a bit like that. This one, I was. What was happening is when I heard the words and I would write them down. If I didn't have time to do an image and I just wanted to write down the words, sometimes I would write it quite scruffily, and that was okay. And then I'd go back and write it neater. But I started to do a few of them where I just used my original writing. And this one says, new energy entering your life. So, new energy entering your life. And there she is with touching some sort of electrical outlet, whatever, and all her hair blowing up. And again, what I'm trying to communicate is that I know that the surface level interpretation of new energy entering your life is, yeah, how great, new energy entering your life, lovely. But that's not how I was feeling coming up to that makeover. Coming up to that makeover, I, it felt like anxiety and tension. It didn't feel like excitement. I did feel like something new coming into my life, but it felt like, as I said, you saw the pictures earlier, it felt like I was falling and rushing to the ground really fast, and that something was going to happen, but it might be really messy. And this is another one where I'd scribbled the words and I just kind of kept them. And the fact that they'd been scribbled a bit made me kind of loosen up on the drawing and scribble a bit as well. But I didn't know what I was drawing. Again, I didn't know what I was doing. I had the words, and then I did a looser face. I didn't even do the face. I just did a circle. Looser. So this says, big change, ready to walk out of your life. Big change, ready to walk out of your life. I didn't know, when I was drawing it, I didn't have the idea that she would be a puppet. What do I do? Oh, yeah. So I was just thinking, what are those things hanging off her one hand and her one foot? It's the string that's being cut, isn't it? So yeah, she's much looser. You know how some people talk about cartoons and then there's like a character, like Garfield or something, and he looks the same. I know he's got different expressions, but he looks the same. I don't have that skill. Maybe one day I'll want her to look the same. At the moment, I like that she kind of turns out different each time. I like that it feels different. I like experimenting and trying new things. I don't know if anybody will watch certainly this long into a video. I kind of hope maybe this video will be of interest to people that are drawing and just want a body double or something. That'd be cool. But if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're just thinking, I can't learn about meditation and visualization and journaling and I can't do everything. Maybe the cartoons will be of interest, but maybe just seeing somebody else express themselves like that is kind of what will be happening next. And just focus on soothing yourself and taking care rather than learning something and making sure that you've got to do it. Bye.